can see here we have the state class Java. And today we are going to start collections. So before starting collections, anyone has anything to discuss about previous topics you can discuss? Because collection is something, whatever you have learned on the top of all those things, a mixed kind of thing. And means if you know collection, it's an added advantage. Getting selected in the interview, very high chances. Okay, and wrapper classes are the part of collections. Mostly you will see the wrapper classes uses in the collections. So there are some questions. I believe you have gone through that, and couple of questions like I would like to highlight. Write a program to check whether the given string is palindrome or not. We have already discussed this. Write a program to check brown is present in this sentence or not. So it's very simple. You can use contains method and you can check whether it is present here or not. Write a program to convert a string into character array. So to-char array is the method, via that you can use it. So a couple of things you can just think of that, how to use it. The parseInt means you will get some kind of exception, parseInt exception. So it should be a string, but you are passing something integer and other things. Write a program where a method declares that it throws arithmetic exception. So we have already shown these examples. It's talking about method is throwing arithmetic exception. So via throws keyword, you are just throwing this. Write a program with the nested try blocks. So probably this example, I have not shown that, but you can find this example. It's a nested try one, right? So means you have a try and inside that you have a try. It's just talking about that thing. So let me check if I have that example or not. So I just want to show that example. Exception. I don't have that example here, but I will show it from internet. Example of nested try. Nested means try inside try. Nested if, nested try you have seen in the past. So we have a very good site, Java T Point. You can refer this one for beginners. It is saying that first you have a try block, then you can have some statement, and inside try you will have a try, and in this try you will have some kind of try. So like this kind of things you can design. It's allowed in Java, there is no problem. So real time example it is showing about this one. So let me copy and show you in the Eclipse. First I will copy it. I will create new class, some random name I am giving here, and I will just paste it. 4. So I pasted the code and after that it will show me compilation error because the file name and class name are different. So it should be same. So rename compilation, it is done. So once it is done, so my public class and the file name should be same. So this is one thing. Now I will show you the demo. It is saying that outer try block. So we have a try block and inside that try we have an inner try, means try inside a try. So that is allowed in Java, means there is no problem, there is no restriction like that. And here I am just dividing it by 0. If this will have some kind of what call, some kind of exception, so there should be a catch block to handle this try. And to handle this try, we have another catch block, you can see here. And we have one more try which is having this catch block. So every try has a catch. This is outer catch block. You can see here. This catch block belongs to this try. This catch block belongs to this try. Okay, so we have different try blocks. This try and this try are at the parallel level. It's not like, no, this one is having this level inside this. This is outer try, this is inner try 1, and this is inner try 2. You can see here, inner try block 2. So there is one outer try, and inside that we have a different. So what I will do, I will select all and just format it, Control plus Shift plus F. So now it will show me in the better way. Now I can easily understand, oh, this is outer try, and this try are at the same level. So every try will have a catch block. We have, and this is outer try catch block. So that's the normal thing. It's allowed in Java. If I'm going to run this, I will get this division by 0 and it will be caught here. So it will display like that. Then it will come here. This try is completed, then it will come to this try. We have index 5. So this will throw index out of bound exception. It is showing here, then it will come out. And finally, in this try, we have no problem. So it will not print this one, because inside this try we don't have any catch, any problem, right? Because it is already handled inside. So I'm expecting this statement will not execute. Right? So let me run this and show you whether this is going to print or not. So it's not printing this one. You can see handled the exception outer catch, because we never handling in the outer try. Okay, all exceptions are handled inside the try inside that. So this is one example. You can see divide to 0. This is the issue I'm getting first. Arithmetic exception. Second exception was arithmetic exception. Sorry, array index out of bound exceptions. This one, line number 24. Okay, and this is normal flow. It is printing because this is the end of the program like this. This is never printed. Why? Because all the exceptions handled by the try. In this try, this is the outer try. If there is any exception, then that will be handled by the outer catch. So let me generate one exception. How I will generate? Throw new runtime I'm explicitly throwing that exception. Test outer try catch. It's okay. And then we have a outer catch block. This exception will be thrown and it will be handled by this catch block. So now this I'm expecting it will be printed. You can see here handled the exception outer catch. So now this is printed because I have thrown some exception. So this will throw some exception when it will come here, this catch block, and this will be handled here. And if we have a finally block, it will also be executed. So FINA finally. Finally is a block in Java. Inside finally block. This is outer finally block. Let me design for inner as well. Finally blocks are mandatory block and they will always execute. So this catch will be executed because of this exception. I'm just explicitly throwing it. You can see here, this exception is coming and I'm saying that inner finally block is invoked. This exception is coming. Then I'm showing here inner to finally block executed. And finally outer exceptions means there was throw new runtime. So due to that, it is coming like that inside outer finally block. You can see here inner one, inner two, and in outer finally block is executed. And normal flow is the last line. So that the everything is got executed. My program successfully completed without any exception or error. So we have well handled it. So this was something new. That's why I discussed it. Write a program to rethrow the exception. So it is saying that once you come to the catch block, consider that you have a catch block. You are throwing some exception here, it is thrown here and it is handled here. But you can again rethrow the exception like this. Throw. You see here, this is already an exception here. So you can inside, instead of using new keyword, if you catching some exception, you can directly throw that exception. Either this way or throw new, like that you can throw. So let's run and see if that is working or not. You can see here, I have thrown that exception and due to that, it is coming out. And when it is coming out, my outer things are handled. And after that, you see here, the exception was thrown here. So that is why it executed the finally one block, but it didn't come to this one. You just observe it carefully why it is not coming to this try, because it found the exception here and after that this exception is never handled. Okay, line number 20 I'm talking about, when I'm throwing explicitly this exception. So this exception was not handled anywhere, so that's why it is not going to execute this line of codes. Okay, even this finally is not executed, you can see, because it is dependent upon the try catch. If this try will not execute, this finally will not execute. So everything is finished under the first one, and after that we have a outer catch which is just handling this exception, and then after that its normal flow is completed. So this was something rethrow kind of model. Write a program where you pass argument while throwing an exception. So it means this, it is talking about this one. Okay, you pass some argument while throwing this exception. So we already have this example. Now this is also completed. Now I'm moving to the collections part. So collections part, basically collection means some kind of grouping concepts, batch kind of concepts you are forming. So that is normally considered collections. So consider that we have a student a data type, we have like a string data type, we have any kind of data type. It can be like integer data type, character data type, anything can be there. So we can form a collection, means group of bunch of kind of things. So that is normally called collections. And there are multiple ways to handle that. And we will see one by one how to use it, how to handle that. So Java collections is a framework that provides unified architecture to store and manipulate group of objects. That's what I was talking about. So normally when we talk about the package in Java, so package is basically a folder, right? So they have created something in different folders and finally they have integrated and they are calling it as a package. Okay, so package can contain a lot of files. So Java files, we call it libraries. We already have received those things, and now wherever I want, I can use it like that. So we will see the uses, which one we can use on the regular basis, daily basis. So like those kind of things. So using Java collections, we can perform some kind of operations, searching, sorting, insertion, deletion, manipulation, means movement you can also perform. So this kind of operations you can perform. And collection is something very, very important. And without that, you cannot think of Java, you know. So if you know Java, you have to know about the collections. And it's very easy actually. Once you are not through the collection, so you will think, oh, what is collection? But once you started learning, it's very easy. It's whatever thing you have already learned, that was so tough. And now I will say that this is very easy thing. Because everything is designed already. You just need to learn how to use that. There's nothing new that you have to write some code for that. It's already coded. You just use the previous things and just try to make the use of them. So this is something very important diagram if you are coming to the collections part. So you should know that what is this diagram and what is talking about. Actually, it is not mentioning about all the classes and all the interfaces. It's just highlighted couple of things. So same like that, everything is having some kind of a root, and there some kind of tree structure will be formed, who is the parent and who is the child kind of thing. So this is something called collections framework. Okay, either you can call collection framework or collections framework. That's the same thing. So then confused with that. Basically, when we talk about collection, so collection is an interface, and collections is a class in what you call Java. Collections framework they have given. Collection is an interface, and collections S is there. That is a class in Java. Okay, and all collections things are by default present in java.util package. Just remember that, because this is something called utility. So that's why they have considered util package. Utility means whatever you already know in Java, you have to use the same concept, but to help use it in a better way, we have some collections. Okay, some libraries they have given, some methods they have given, and you are asked to make the use of that. So this is green, all green are classes and all the blue are interfaces. So root interface is iterable. This is interview question, just I'm highlighting that. Which one is the root interface? So iterable is the root interface in collection framework. Then the iterator has a child called collection, and then collection, when we talk about, this is containing of list and set. Queue is there, but automation perspective we are not using, to be honest. It's very lessly, or you can say you won't be using queue kind of thing. And when we talk about list interface, so list interface is the parent of couple of classes. Sorry, in collections. So one is array list, one is a linked list, one is a vector, and one is a stack. So basically, vector up to vector it is okay, but vector is the parent of a stack. So list interface is the parent of array list, linked list, vector, but vector class is the parent of a stack class. So four important classes are there in the list interface. Now we have a set interface. So in the set interface, we have hash set, linked hash set, sorted set is that interface, then we have tree set. And we have separate map. Basically, that is not directly part of collection, but indirectly it is available or used in the collection framework. So how they have used integrated, I will show you that part. So map is the like very last topic, but first we will start with the list. Okay, so what is the list interface, where it is present, when it was added, what kind of methods it is holding. So we will discuss everything about the list interface. Let's start with the iterable interface. Don't confuse, there is iterator, iterable. So iterator is also interface, iterable is also interface. I'm coming here and I'm going to java.util package. Or I can open some of the examples and I can show you. Refactor. collections list. So we already have list. So let me expand it. And we have a array list demo. And you see here, I'm going there and just clicking on list interface. So where it is present, just go from the top. Package is java.util. When it was added in Java 1.2. And structure of list interface is public interface list. E is kind of data type. Based on data, it will be what you call binded, or we call it Java in generics. So it will be binded for a particular kind of data. So in collection framework, whatever the classes and like interfaces are there, so most of the cases you will see, they will give you the type kind of typecasting. So if you want for a string, it will become a string. If you want for integer, it will become the integer kind of thing. Okay, extend collection. So you already know this table structure. Iterable collection, and collection is the parent of list. So same thing you will see here. So we have a list interface and extends collection. So why extend keyword is coming for interface? Because this is also interface, this is also interface. So if left and right both are interface, then extend keyword will be used. So list part, first see the list part. Windows, show view, what we call it, outline. So we have size, is empty, contents, iterator, to array, add, remove, contents, all, add all. So a lot of things you can see here. Remove, retain, replace all, sort, clear, equals. So need basis, you can start learning these methods. So we have a lot of methods, and I will highlight couple of things which you will be using so much time. One is get method. You will be using so frequently. One is size method. One is contents method. One is iterator method. One is to array method. One is remove method. One is add method as well. You can see this is add method. So add method is to insert the new object. Remove method is to, basically there are four kind of operations. So that is called CRUD operations. CRUD means create, read, update and delete. CRUD, C-R-U-D. So you will see the methods mostly like that. Add is create method. Update is set method. You can see here somewhere set method will be there. Set method. So this is called update method. So there should be delete method. So delete is remove method. Okay. So get method is the read method. GET. You can see here. So all the four operations must be there. And one is normally search. They have given contents method. Via that you can just come to know whether that is present or not. So search feature is there. So five operations we can say, or four operations we can say. CRUD operation or CRUDs you can say. So basically these are the five operations you know mostly find in all the classes. So this is the root of software engineering. You should know CRUD operations. Okay. Every class, everywhere, wherever you will start working or any project. So this is something very, very important. CRUD. Yes, you can put optional. And sometimes you need to search, but CRUD is the root, fourth pillar of like any application. Any application is designed with the four features. Mandatory. Okay. If you have created, you want delete, you should give the delete. You want to search, you want to search. Suppose searching is all needed because like the records will keep on growing. How will handle that? Okay. How will search whether that employee is present or not? Everywhere you go to any website and anything like search feature is normally there. So it will search in the database and then it will come to me. So now I'm going to the list interface. So list interface is the parent of other classes. So how to see that whether it is a parent or not? So this is an interface and these are the methods. So what I will do, I will go to the list and I will right click and open type hierarchy. You can see here it is coming like that. So I told you there are a lot of classes. You will see all the classes cannot be kept here. So they have put the important things. Now you will see array list, linked list, vector and stack. So we have array list here. Basically this is a class and array list is the parent of check random access list. Array list vector is there. So vector is parent of stack. The stack extends vector. So this is the parent. Okay, and one is linked list. So we will see about linked list. You see a linked list is there. When you coming to the linked list, you see extends abstract sequential list, list interface, DQ, clonable, and serializable. So you see a list, linked list is like having two parents. One is list interface and one is DQ as well. So if you see this structure diagram, Q is there. So Q is the parent of DQ and DQ is the parent of linked list. So it is maintaining the double-ended queue, where one side is used for inserting the data and other side is used for removing the data. So that is called double-ended queue. Okay. We have these classes. So just basic introduction is going on, that what are the things present in the what do you call it, collections framework. So we have a list interface. List interface is the parent of all the four classes, and wherever you will see these are the widely being widely used. Coming back, package explorer, ArrayList demo. So now we know about all the methods and all such things. Now I will going to learn how to design this classes, and it's very simple. And what is the significance, how to write the syntax, everything I'm going to teach you. So let me comment the things which is not needed. Need basis I can uncomment and I can show you. You can see here line number 12. See, array list, the name of array list, I'm putting list in the small case. This is called generics. Generics means you are restricting your array list, that what kind of data it is going to hold. So you can mention this in the angular bracket. If you put something different data, it will show the compilation error. So let me show you how to add. So via this reference, then you put a dot and you will add method you will use, and everything is passed under string format. So let me show you like this. I have list. This is the reference. So via reference and just put a dot, and you want which method of that class. So ArrayList you have already seen so many methods now present, and I am just going to use the one which is add method. So it is saying that a string data type. If I put like 100, so it is an integer data type. So what will happen? It will show you compilation error. Why? Because it is saying that it is only designed to accept a string, and you are trying to put integer data type. So that is not okay. Yes, that's not good. So you cannot do that. So what you have to do, you have to uncomment this. You have to comment it because it is not allowed, so you cannot do that. So this concept is called generics in Java because this is interview question. What is generics in Java? We will say that when we are using collections classes, so in the Angular bracket, we are setting the data type that restricting that particular collections class, that which kind of data you will be having. So I don't want any other thing. I just want to use a string. So I put a string over here. You can see. So this is something generics example. Okay. And if you want to print the value of this, so how to print? It's very simple. S out and give the reference name like this. And if I execute it, right click, run as Java application. You can see it will show you in the big bracket like this because it's a list, symbol of that it's a list. We're going to print a list, and whatever the value we have added, it's added in the same sequence. So list is interface in Java which has couple of methods, and I'll tell you about list. List can have duplicate values, it can have null values, it can maintain the insertion order. Means in which order you have inserted the value, the same order the output will be displayed. Okay, so that part I'm coming soon. So just basic introduction about the list interface. So it is binded to have only string data type. Now we have one new array list where I have not used generics. So what will happen if I don't use generics? So there is no compilation error, but we are getting warnings. As a best practice, you should not do that. So it is showing you a warning. So in this line of code and this line of code, there is a simple difference. This angular bracket is missing. So if that is missing, so my this array list, which is list 2, it is not bounded to have any specific data type. So integer is also okay, the string is also okay, and the boolean is also okay. So if I want to print the value of this, I will show you. This is list 2, right? You can see here, I got in the same order in which I have inserted the value. So list is an interface. It maintains the insertion order or it preserves the insertion order. And after that, you can have generics and non-generics both way. So if you are using non-generics, so you can put any kind of value. But I will always suggest to use generics concept. Okay, as a best practice, you should start using generics concept in what? Java.
Listen, Rajiv, I have one doubt. Can you just scroll up? So why we have used in our section we have used it array list string to make it restrict to string input only,
Mhm.
string display only, and in the second list you have mentioned it in different way.
So if you remember the Java concept, we have parent, the reference of parent type, and object of child class is allowed. The same concept I'm using, it's
Okay.
allowed. So this is the concept I want to give, but as I will always suggest to use like this. Okay, it's best practice to use like this, but they are normally you will see wherever the examples from where I copied this example. So normally left side they will use reference. So reference part they can put any parent thing. Okay, and right side the object will be there. You know this concept in Java is allowed. Parent, reference, and child object is allowed.
Yeah,
So
parent
same.
child relations.
So there should be some relationship, and based on that, it's allowed in Java. So you
Okay.
already know that array list, who is the parent? If you go there, you can see the list is the parent. So that's the normal practice they are doing. So don't confuse with that. It's allowed in Java. Okay. Now we have another example. Another example is I am talking about order preservation. That normally it preserves the order. And this part I will show you once normal way, and another way I will show you in the debug mode. So which is very interesting. Then you will come to know what is internal structure, what is the initial size, what is the load factor, what is the multiplying factor, everything you will come to know. So there is a load factor and multiplying factor, initial size, three things additionally you have to know. Initial size, initial capacity, not size, initial capacity is 0. Okay. So when you talk like this question is asked in the interview, what is the initial capacity of ArrayList? So initial capacity of ArrayList is by default 0. I'll tell you. Okay. So capacity is 0, size is also 0. Once you add the first object here, the capacity will become by default 10. It's designed in that way. 10 is the initial capacity, but once you add the first object, and by default the maximum capacity is 10. But since array list is a dynamic array, it means growing and shrinking is automatically handled based on element you add or based on element you delete. So it will grow and shrinking feature will automatically handle. So what it will do when it will reach to the 10, then it is okay. But once you try to add the 11th one, so it will multiply it by 1.4. So load factor is 1. Just remember that load factor is 1. It means we have to reach 100%. That is called load factor, and multiplying factor is 1.5. So three things additionally you have to know about array list. One is initial capacity, one is load factor, and one is multiplying factor. So multiplying factor is 1.5, load factor is 1, and initial capacity is 0. Okay. So now let me show you this example. I am doing what? I am,
Rajiv,
yes,
so Rajiv, when we insert 11th object, then it will multiply by 1.5,
correct.
1.5 to 11,
No, 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 10. Once
10.
you try to add 11th one, then the size will become 15. Means capacity will become 15, not size. So size is the number of elements what you have. You can see here how many elements I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So up to 6, there is nothing like additional setting. Just I'm giving one simple demo. You can see here, I created one first array list. So this you now understand how to create. You can use it like that or you can use it list. It's up to you. But I will always suggest to use same, because once you use parent one, it has some restriction. Child of maybe some methods are there in the child, you will not be able to use it. So why to do that way? So it's better to use in same, left and right are same. So first, second, third, fourth, and finally I will print the list and I will print the size. You see here. So this is one way of printing. Let me run this. Size is 6. So we can see here size is 6. Now let's see the same example in the debug mode. Then you will very easily understand more things. So we have a toggle breakpoint. I added that and then I will execute in the debug mode. Right click, debug as Java application. So it's allow access. Remember my price. Now I'm coming to the debug mode. You see here, this is the variable section. This is most important thing to observe for now. So just keep one eye, keep your eye over here only. So this is where it has not executed it yet. So let me go and execute. This is a step over. I will use this. What it did, it created the list one. The reference was that, and once you see this list, you will have something. So mode count is 0, size is 0. Okay, object is 0. You see element data. What is there? It is 0. So this just created the array list with this by default setting. Capacity is 0, everything is 0, nothing is there inside. Mode count is also 0. Now let's add first element. Once I added the first element, the 0 become here is 10. You can see here. You can see what is there. All are by default null, 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 null. Because it is having a string data type, so all become null, null, null. Mode count is 1, size is 1. Now going to add next. So capacity is 10, mode count 10, size is 10. But most interesting thing, like how the internally objects are stored over here. So I'm going to show that part, element data. So this is the first index, this is the second index, so 0, 1, right? So fan is stored in the 0th position and table is in, what do you call it, stored in the second position. So let me open the first one, fan. So if you open this, you will have this kind of a structure. So value is the array. Basically, it's string data type. So string data type is character array. So what it will do, since we have stored fa and fan. So 0, 1, 2, 3 characters like it is there. So 0, 1, 2 like this it will be stored. Can see?
Yes, yes.
And this is 0, 1 and based on that the first index. The value is table. So table 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 indexes places it got stored. So internal structure is like that. So now you can better understand how it is internally maintaining the things. And let's do it. And you just also focus here that how many, what is the capacity here? So still 10, 10, 10, it is 4, it is 10, 5, it is 10, 6, it is 10. So after 6, it is finished. So no problem. Still the capacity is 10. So let me resume it. So that's finished. Now what I will do, I will, when you are in the debug mode and you want to switch back to normal Java mode, you click on J button. So this is insect button, this is J button. You click on J button, you will come back to the normal mode. Now let me add more elements, some kind of duplicates as well. 6 and 3 is 9. 9, 10, 11. So this is the example of duplicates and I have one example of null as well. 2 times null I'm entering. So null is also allowed. And duplicate null values also allowed. And this is the property of ArrayList that insertion order is maintained and null is allowed. Duplicate null is also allowed. Duplicate values also allowed. So everything we have in the same example and we have some, it was up to 9, 10, 11, right? No, 9 was here, 10, 11 here, 12, 13. So total is 13. Okay. So this will give me the count as 13. This will print everything and this will, first I will show you directly execution and then I will show in the debug mode, which is more interesting. So 13 is the, you can see a duplicate null is also there. So no problem for that. And let me run this in the debug mode. So we have the toggle point, right click, debug as Java application. So you see here, as of now, nothing is there. So first line execution is done. It created array list with the size of capacity of 0. I added first. The capacity is 10. Let me keep on adding. The fan table, Java, everything sequentially added. Microsoft, Apple, 100. It is the integer, but I have passed in the string format. Microsoft, 100. You can see here, still it is 10. So 0 to 9, it's 10 already. Oh, still as of now, I have not filled it. Okay, so let's add couple of more. So this is 10. And after that, it will grow. Just focus here, because I don't want you to miss. So now it is 10, right? So up to 10, it is 10. No problem. But once I add one more, how much it become? 15. So this is called multiplying factor. So multiplying factor of array list is 1.5. Load factor is 1. Means you have to full 100%. Once you try to exceed 100%, then it will multiply like that. And duplicate is also allowed, so should be okay. It was just a demo. So we added 12. Okay, 12 element. And after that, I am just printing it. So it's printed everything 13. Now come to the Java perspective. So you already seen that how many elements we added and what was the output like that. So it worked like that. Now I'm coming to
Rajiv,
the.
I have one more question I have. Sorry to interrupt.
Mhm.
So it will multiply with 10
Current value.
with current value to 1.5. So if the
Correct.
value is 20 at that time, so it will become 30.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thanks.
And you can just check it. It's okay.
No, that's
And
fine. I mean, I got the idea.
Rajiv,
Okay.
what is that ID is referring for?
Sorry.
What does ID stand for? Actually, we saw right that ID equal to this 12 or 14 or 15.
What ID? I didn't get you.
Yeah,
Uh,
in debug mode it was showing. I think it's the address of that maybe
Let me run
list.
again. Run again. Then
Yeah.
I will.
yeah.
See, now we have more elements, right? Let me run it normal mode. How many elements we have? 26, right? Enough. So let me run in the debug mode. So let me add the first one.
Yeah, the string ID is 16, which is showing here, and then again it is showing ID with each element.
I think it's variable something like whatever it is creating. You see here, arc 16, ID 19. It's internal implementation, I believe. So let's go there. You see, everywhere, everyone is having unique ID kind of thing. I think it's some kind of element referring kind of thing. Let me execute once more. So now it is changing. Earlier it was 29. Every refreshment it is changing, I think. If I'm adding, now it is stable. You can see it.
It is giving next value to next element.
I think all IDs keep on coming like this. You see here. 31, 32, 30, 32, 33 is not coming, 35 is coming. So maybe internally it is assigned somewhere. You see. It's a just referring kind of thing, how we refer internally, like each and every element. Because the execution of the program is internally designed in that way. But we are never worried about that. Okay. So now let me execute and see that what is the load factor. Most interesting part. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So up to 10 it is 10. Adding 11th, it becomes 15. So let me fill the 15. Then you see that what is now the multiplying factor. 13 is 15, 14 is 15, 15 is 15. Add one more, now it becomes integer value it is taking. Actually it was coming how much? 22.5. So it is taking 22. Let me exceed that. Now coming 33. So that was your question, Amit, right?
Yep.
If the size is 20, then how much it will become? So like this, it is working.
Yeah.
Coming back to Java perspective. So this is something very interesting. Once you execute in the debug mode, then only you will come to know what is load factor, what is capacity, what is multiplying factor. And these are like 3 different interview questions. Hardly people knows about this. Like if you ask any other of your colleagues, I don't think that they are confident enough to answer these questions because no one has gone into the depth of this thing.
Have you encountered this question or you only ask these questions?
Some of the interviews asking like these are conceptual questions. If someone is into Java development, probably they should know. In automation side, people are not asking into depth much. But since I am appearing for different interviews, so a couple of times I have been asked these questions. I'm not asking this question because I know like people will later on
Yeah,
tell
because I have been in the some of the interview panels,
them.
not specific to Java, but I was as a final panel. So there I have never seen this question. Even ArrayList is these things have never been asked by in interview.
That's okay, no problem. Just
Yeah,
a
but it
concept,
is really interesting.
conceptual, and like if you want to really understand, you have to run in the debug mode. Then only you will understand. You see here, so I was just showing that how to print the array list. So one is just pass the system.out.println and pass the array list reference. It will simply print it. Second thing is by using loop also you can print it. That you don't want to print it like that, or you want to print it like loop, so you can just use a loop. So we have a get method. So I told you that we have a CRUD operation. So we have a get method. In get method, you have to pass the index. So what I am doing here, the same like array, just way of writing is changed. In the array we have length, and in array list we have a dot size method. So index position is I is equal to 0. Last position I is less than whatever the variable you have created. This variable dot size, it should be less than only, and I plus plus because I want a sequential printing, right? So I plus plus I am taking. Then I am just printing it system.out.print, not println I'm taking print. Then list1.get of I. So whatever the index will be there, it will keep on incrementing. You know this for loop is there, and it's very easy for loop. And after that, I put some space, and then I executed it. So just a way of printing how to print the array list. You can see it, the output is coming like that. So let me comment. It's a long list is coming. That all was like concept kind of thing. Now you got the concept. So for printing things, I'm just keeping my list as a short one. So total 9 elements I'm having in the list, and 9 values it is printing, and which order you have inserted, the same order it will preserve. So that's the beauty of array list. Duplicates allowed, null allows, insertion order is maintained, and it can follow Java generics pattern. Generics means you can restrict that what kind of data you want to hold it. So this is one way of printing. Second way of printing is that since there are multiple ways of printing array list, so I am going through one by one. So now coming to this part, you see a second one. This was one way of printing, and this is another way of printing. And this is reverse order printing. So if in arrays, how you were printing in the reverse order, same way I'm having printing here. So index position I'm setting to the last -1. Okay, because index you always know it will, if it is the size of 5, index should be 4. So index position I am setting it last -1. I should be greater than equal to 0. That is mandatory thing. You have to follow this one. And I minus minus. It is a reverse order printing. And just using the same method, dot get of I, the value of I it will take and it will keep on printing and it will just print in the reverse order. So let me execute this. You can see here whatever the order was coming over here, I printed in the reverse order. So they will ask you that how you will print in the reverse order. So as of now, just use this pattern and to print because they want to see your programming logic. Now we have another way. For each loop. You already used so many times in the past. And if you have for loop, you should know for each loop as well. So one problem can have multiple solutions. For each loop also can be used to support this. So I will print in the reverse order. Then I will print using for each loop. So what I'm going to do, this is the reference variable list1. Okay, I'm taking here this is a collection. So in for each loop, either array or collection strip, you just put it here. Just learn the syntax and then now it becomes very easy. And the data type. So data type you come here, the data type is a string, not the array list. Okay, because it is going to hold what kind of data? It is going to hold a string kind of data. And this is local variable. It will keep on pointing one by one. The first time it will point fan, then table, then Java. It will like that. And no condition, nothing like that. In for each loop, the advantage is that I don't have to think too much that from where I will start until where it will I will go and end. So it becomes easier code writing, right? And I'm just printing this local variable. So it will just keep on holding one by one each and everything, and I will just print it. So let me run this and just focus on the last part. It is printed via for each loop. So there is no difference in printing logic and everything. It's almost same. Only you will see the list part which I was just passing. It is printing in the big bracket. And other things I am printing. So using loop. So I have to control how I want to print it. So this is another way of printing. And one is advanced way of printing. So you will come here in the list class, you go there, add a list class. And go to Windows Show View outline. You will see one method called iterator. See, this is iterator. So return type is iterator interface. So in Java, we have an iterator interface. So which you go there, iterator interface. First, you have to generate iterator kind of reference. And once you go there in the iterator interface, you will have three methods mostly: has next, next, and remove. So among all the three methods, mostly you will use next and has next. Okay. So via using iterator interface, next and has next methods, you can do the printing, or you can do the navigation, or you can do the traversing, whatever you can say. So I have to print it. So I'm just using iterator for printing here only. Coming to back to this part. So let me comment these things because these things we have already printed. We have already gone through demos. This is also done. Now the next thing is iterator things. First I will show you from where it is coming, then I will show you how to use it, right? The same array list, multiple ways of printing. So iterator is also part of like java.util package. So no worries. All the collections things are by default the part of util package. So how to use it? It's very simple. You have the list, this variable, reference what you have created. And once you put a dot, let me remove this, then I will show you again. Once you put a dot, you will see iterator. So you got the iterator now. And once you have the iterator, so left part is very easy. It's like you will write like this first list.iterator, okay? And then you hold it in some local variable. So I'm just folding it like iter. Just giving the name, it's up to you which name you want. I1, I2 also you can use. And then just mouse over, you will give a compilation error. I'm not sure what kind of data it is going to hold. So I'm just pretending that I don't know. So I will use this feature, create local variable. Okay, so now it's done. Iterator of a string. Okay, so it is saying that now I have iterator of a string. So by using this, you have to like write like this. And once you have the reference iter, so by using iter reference using for loop or while loop, it's up to you. Normally people are using while loop, but I have shown you using for loop as well. But normally you will see whenever you are using iterators, people are suggesting then that go with the while loop. So we have iter, this iterator reference, which has two methods, as next and next. As next is just to check whether element is present or not. Okay, and next is just keep on pointing like that. One by one it will point. So return type of next is a string data type, and return type of has next is boolean. So it will just tell you that whether the element is present or not, true or false, and it will return you the value. So what it will do, it will just return the value and then start pointing to the next one. So the number of times you will use next, it will just keep on next kind of automatically increment it will do. So be careful while using next. So I'm using this for loop and then I'm going to print it. You can see I'm getting the output like that, and same thing can be done via while loop. So I will have this. After that, I will have this like this. And this loop I will remove. It will become the while loop. While and condition. So what is the condition? My condition is the iter dot has next. Okay. So since I have used here, so let me comment this part, otherwise this will not work properly. The same reference, that's why I've commented it. Otherwise I have to create a new reference, then again I have to do that. The same reference, since for will use, then it will just keep on pointing to the last. And after that, when you will start while loop, so it will be the continuation of that part and then it will not show anything. So I'm just commented it out, this one, so that it will start from the phrase. So this is the condition and this is the code that's same. The printing wise it's the same one. only condition wise it is changed. And there also we have like for loop, you already know this is initialization section, this is increment or decrement, and this is condition section. So condition section is mandatory, other were optional. So I kept that feature using like that. But it's always suggestible that if you are using what you call iteration, so you use while loop. If I run this, I'm getting the output. You can see here. Now we have a list iterator. So list iterator topics we will cover tomorrow, because this is something new topic, big topic, and it's time to understand this topic. So that's it for today. Anyone has any doubt, they can discuss. The next class will be on Monday, right?
Okay, Rajiv.
Anyone has any doubt?
Yeah, Rajiv, 1 second. Can you go back to the program?
Line number?
Line number 89. So this iter dot next, this can be used specific to this particular program, or this can be used in other programs as well.
See, if you have a collection and you want to point one by one, okay? Suppose that you have 10 elements in a collection. You want to point one by one. So it will help you in pointing the one by one. So it will give you the current one and then it will start pointing to the next one. This is the role of iter.next.
Okay, so it is specific to collection only, this syntax.
Correct.
Okay.
And iterable is like iterator is the part of, and not iterable, iterator is the part of all the collection classes. So everywhere you will see that it is present.
Okay.
That's the beauty of iterator. So most of the places, all the examples, I'm going to use this. If I have to print, I will use this. Okay. So iterator, and just remember that it has two methods, very important methods. Not only two methods, two important methods. One is next and one is hex next. So next will give you the current element and start pointing next one. And has next is just to check whether it is the end of that, whether it is the last one. Okay.
So Rajiv, iter.next, it will work for all type of collection, right? If I need to put
Correct.
next element.
Correct.
Oh,
Set, list, map also. I think
okay.
map, I have not used it, but can be used. I'll check in that. Vector, in stack, in array list, linked list, everywhere you will see it is using.
Okay.
Any other doubt anyone has?
No, Rajiv.
Can refer other candidates. Still like lot of things to go. Yes. People who are not learning here, I think they are going to miss a lot. You can refer your friends, like still a lot of things are there in the collections. If they only learn collection from me, I think that is going to really help them for interview perspective and a lot of things. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks all for joining today's session.
Raju, can you stay for a few minutes? Just.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Raj.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And let me stop the recording first.